A thread by Carlos Osuida. Holy crap. When Nancy Pelosi and her band of idiots knelt, they were recreating the killing of George Floyd. I had no idea. Just to get you a picture of it, there it is. They knelt for the same amount of time that cop's knee was on the back of Floyd's neck. And she did it with her mask not even on right. So they reenacted the killing of Floyd while wearing Ghanaian kente cloth around their necks. As we all know, Floyd was Ghanaian, right? All Black Americans are Ghanaians, I guess. Ghana is known for peaceful coexistence between people of different ethnicities. Kidding, of course. Ghana is a classic black on black slaughterhouse. The 1994 Konkomba Nanumba conflict was a tribal war in northern Ghana in 1994. It was fought between the Konkomba, Nawuri, Nchumuru, Basare tribes versus the Nanumba, Dagomba, and Gonja tribes. Since 1981, there have been 5 black on black civil wars in Ghana. So, Pelosi commemorated a cop's killing of a black man while wearing the cloth design of a place where black tribes murder each other. People are angry at cops for not taking a knee. Well, they don't want to commemorate the cop who killed George Floyd. That makes sense to me. Pelosi makes as much sense as the Iranian mullahs. Guess what they're going to do again? They're going to blow up another toy aircraft carrier with no defenses. They've built it and are ready to use their little speedboats. Destroying a toy aircraft carrier bears no resemblance to destroying an actual American aircraft carrier. Our carriers are part of a carrier strike group. They aren't alone. The carrier is positioned over the horizon, not in 40 feet of water close to shore. The carrier has 7 layers of defense that the speedboats and flying lawnmowers must penetrate. These are the flying lawnmowers. They're said to be armed with machine guns, but there's no structural evidence of that. The speedboats and flying lawnmowers are kept together in the same shed, and this is how the lawnmowers deploy. See? It's flying, it's Iranian lawnmowers. In the virtually impossible event of a war with Iran, U.S. Navy multi-role fighters will destroy the sheds before Iran even attacks. And Operation Praying Mantis 1988 showed us how effective the speedboat swarms are. We destroyed all of them with rockeye cluster munitions. Anybody want to see what a rockeye cluster munition looks like? Get ready. Here's a rockeye cluster munition. Cluster bombs were introduced as an anti-personnel weapon. The thin-walled canisters burst to spread out hundreds of grenade-like bombs everywhere. So anyway, there's your cluster bombs. Moving right along. I have people telling me, don't get complacent. This is a knee-jerk attack to try to maintain superiority. Let's establish something. You are superior in everything, okay? Happy? Good. Now go away. 2 months ago, Trump supporters were setting voting records in primaries in which they didn't even have to vote. Primaries were a time for people to be complacent, a word I now hate as much as I now hate the word racism. But I'm speaking as a deeply inferior person, of course. The Democratic lockdowns had the opposite effect that the Democrats intended. When the economy began to reopen, we had the largest monthly job creation in American history. The experts were wrong by 300%. I'm sure that Dwight D. Eisenhower should have inspired fear in his men by telling them they just might lose. But like me, he was a deeply inferior person, so he told them to be confident. Donald Trump is also confident. He needs some Twitter realists to knock some sense into him. Call the White House and tell him to stop being complacent. He must hear this message of superiority. It's all up to the realists. They will win the election by tweeting negativity and doing absolutely nothing else. The Iranian flying lawnmowers of American politics.